According to Cancer Research UK, each year nearly 400,000 people are diagnosed with a disease. But now new research from the University of York could help in the fight to find a cure.
Yeah, so my research is that I'm a bioinformatician. So that means biology but using computers to do big scale analyses, this idea of big data. So we're able to understand the DNA of cancer cells, and we're able to look at that DNA and try and work out what's going wrong in cancer. So my work will be looking at how to better classify cancers. So this unit, the Jack Birch unit at York University, works a lot with bladder. So bladder cancer will be a major focus, but it's really important to be able to look at different kinds of cancer and how they're related and how we might be able to have different treatments that go across the different types.
But how is this new research being conducted?
So lots of data is available for different projects that have been done before, where sequencing data, so the actual letters that make up your DNA, have actually been recorded. So you can look at those letters and see how they're different to healthy patients, and try and work out what changes in that patient make them have cancer compared to other people. So whilst a cancer may look the same as it goes through the various stages of the disease, the way that it's got to that point is different for every person. There may be the same kinds of processes that are affected, but the way in which it has got there is very different. So by looking individually at that person's DNA, that person's information, it's much easier to target a treatment to that person rather than just applying a one-size-fits-all.
The treatment will be tailored to the individual instead of focusing on the disease as a whole.
I think a lot of people feel that they get labels that aren't necessarily appropriate. So being able to tailor a treatment to that individual is going to be very good for that person in terms of their outcomes for cancer as we move forwards. Sequencing of DNA is becoming much more cost effective, and it's much more likely to end up in GP surgeries in the next few years. And by better understanding all that information that we get, and it's lots of information, it's 3 billion letters for every person, by understanding that, we're able to actually help those people more directly. And that requires a lot of people, and I'm glad that I'm one of the people that's going to be able to do that.
The testing is starting out by examining bladder cancer and how it develops.
So in the Jack Birch unit we're interested in bladder and bladder cancer, but unlike a lot of cancer groups that study just the cancers, I've always been interested in normal cells and how normal cells form tissues, and I think we need to understand those normal processes in order to understand what goes wrong in cancers.
But have you ever wondered how they study cancer and its effects on human cells?
These are the normal cells that in a patient would give rise to bladder cancer, and so we're growing these normal cells. We're looking at cells, for example here there's a cell that's just about to go into cell division, and here's a cell which has just finished dividing, and we're studying what's pathways regulate the growth of these cells, and then we can translate that into cancer and see if those same signals are involved in regulating growth in cancer cells.
So, with this university making strides in scientific research, there is hope in the fight against cancer. York Atkinson, That's TV.